Hello, everybody. Welcome back to James's Classic Movies. James with you today. And as you can tell, we have a new camera. And of course, no click, 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 click. But anyway, we're going to bring you a movie today called Dreamer. Starring Kurt Russell, Dakota Fanning, Elizabeth Shue, David Morse, Freddie Rodriguez, Chris Christopherson, and Louis Guzman. Dreamer is based loosely on the story of Mariah Storm. And of course, you'll hear some references to Serena's song in there too. We're going to give you a little background on both of these wonderful racehorses. Serena's song was foaled on April 4th of 1992. Throughout her career, she won 17 graded stakes races, in which 11 of those races were graded number one, bringing her owners in $3.3 million in a collection of 3 years. Mariah Storm, this is a true story, loosely based on her career. In 1993, Mariah Storm in a race broke her shin bone. And the owners loved this horse so much that they refused to put her down and would heal her any way they possibly could. They'd done so, and a year later, Mariah Storm came back strong and won 8 more races. These are graded stakes races. We're not talking just any kind of race. This is what this story is based on. And we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about racehorses here in a minute, but I want you to watch this. We'll be right back.
What's your story about?
It's about a king and his castle and a magic horse.
You've been promising her for months that you would take her to work with you.
I will, but not today. All right, get in.
I like him.
Her. I like her too. You firing me?
You are the best horseman I know, with the worst luck, and I can't afford to have it in my stable.
She'll never race again?
No, but she might walk again.
You are a great champion. When you ran, the ground shook, the sky opened, and mere mortals parted.
The way to victory.
She can stand on it.
Pop, stop filling her head with stories. Stories are all I got.
Truth is, Cale hadn't have been with me that night,
I'd have let him put the horse down.
I'd still have my job.
Cale.
She wasn't just some racehorse. She's our horse.
I read your story tonight.
Stupid one about the king.
Yeah, I like a stupid king.
I love the stupid king.
Remember dreams? This one's Cale's.
We'll put Sonia door in your name. Here on out, you make all the decisions.
I want you to help me.
What is it I'd be getting?
10%.
20.
15.
Done.
Is Mr. Cale Crane here?
I'm Cale Crane.
Why don't you stand up? She's getting faster and faster.
You saying she should race?
It's a long shot, but why not us?
You ever seen a kid so happy with a horse?
Yeah, I have.
Run hard, dreamer. Run hard for my dad. He deserves a good run.
Okay, we hope that you enjoyed the presentation of that little clip there. I apologize for the lag in the film. I'm working to correct that. I want to talk about what it takes to enter the Breeders' Cup. What kind of horses go in this race? Well, of course, we all know it's a thoroughbred race. You have to be a thoroughbred horse or racehorse to get into this race. Usually, when a foal is born a thoroughbred, the owners will And you have a $400 fee, promissory fee, for the horse to enter the Breeders' Cup when the time comes. That's with good confirmation and stuff like that. You'll hear Chris Christopherson in the movie talk about confirmation. To start or even be considered for the Breeders' Cup, you must have, how would I say it? You must have started an official race between January 1st and October 21st of that same year. In other words, you got to get into the starter's gate, and you got to, when they say go, you go, and hope the horse gets around the track. But you have to have an official start, at least one. Win, lose, or draw. What kind of horses are considered for the Thoroughbred Breeders' Cup? Well, as you know, there are 14 races that make up the Breeders' Cup. And, of course, 14 horses for each different race compete. You have to be considered, you have to, like I said before, have an official start. What kind of horses enter? Challenge winners. These are horses that have won throughout the year. And, of course, greatest stakes horses. Now, greatest stakes, just because you won a greatest stakes race isn't guarantee you a spot in these races. What happens is a point system. How many points have you accumulate through the year to what level you're on to be considered for the Thoroughbred Cup. And of course, horses that have been chosen by experts to be given consideration for the Breeders' Cup. Fees for the Cup run by the million. To enter a fee for entering the race, you have to pay $30,000 per $1 million. In short, if the race is a $2 million race, that's $60,000 plus nomination fee, and that can cost you an additional $100,000 to $200,000. Now, what do I mean by that? Remember we talked about foals and putting that $400 up, doing it the right way? Well, if that is what you did, then you would pay $100,000. And if you did it unofficially, you didn't put that money up, then you would pay $200,000 to be considered for nomination. Again, there are 14 races in the Thoroughbred Cup over a 2-day period. What is the difference between the Triple Crown and the Thoroughbred Cup? The Triple Crown is 3 races that determine whether you run in the Crown or not, which is 1 race. The Breeders' Cup is, like I say, a series of 14 races, very expensive races over a 2-day period. A little bit more prestige, and on top of that, the Breeders' Cup determines the best horses in the world. And that's how that works. I hope that we have made you a little wiser on what's going on in the horse racing and stuff like that. Just like dressage or Western horses, there's certain things you have to do in order to be qualified to compete. You just don't show up with your horse and say, "Here I am, I'm going to compete." It don't work that way. We'll see you next time for another movie. We hope you enjoyed Dreamer, and we'll consider adding this to your collection. And if it's not there already, then it should be. I'm James with James's Classic Movie, and it has been a pleasure. We'll see you next week. Have a good